Welcome to Her Wind Down. According to recent studies, there has been an increase with single fathers, as much as 9% in the last 20 years. Today, we're going to be talking to Anthony on his experience as a single dad. Let's welcome Anthony.
Welcome. What's your wind down? Tell me. What's your wind down? What's your wind down? Tell me. What's your wind down? Show me, tell me, what's your story? I wanna hear it. What's your opinion? Like it, love it. Hashtag it, love it. Hashtag or post it. Retweet or repost it. She's my sister, she's my friend. We stay rolling till the end. We stay vibing no matter what we're riding. We can laugh, be shy or cry. Let's find answers, not ask why. We stay vibing no matter what. We're smiling, we're smiling. I got this, you got this, we got this, we good. I got this, you got this, we got this, we good.
Welcome to Her Wind Down. According to recent studies, there has been an increase with single fathers, as much as 9% in the last 20 years. Today, we're going to be talking to Anthony on his experience as a single dad. Okay, let's welcome Anthony.
Welcome.
So, thank you for being here with us. So, what made you want to come on the show and talk about co-parenting?
Well, as a single father, I want to discuss the challenges of, co-parenting and being a single father, a parent.
Yeah.
And I think this is a show that I can give my opinion and maybe help some men out there get through.
Yeah. Okay, now how many children do you have?
I have 6.
You have, and what are their ages?
From 20, the oldest 26, the youngest is 8.
Okay, now how many children live with you that you're taking care of?
Well, my son been living with me for the last 9 months. I'm keeping him outright. And the 2 girls I have, I'm co-parenting. They stay with me 3 days and they stay with their mom 4 days.
Oh, okay, and how's that working?
It can be challenging, but I'm getting through.
So tell us a little about your past relationships and how you found yourself as a single father.
Who would you like to know about my past relationships?
Like a past relationship to where is, how did you get into the situation of being a single father? Were you once married and then it happened like that? Or did you just have children and like, okay, like you went into this knowing this is how it was? Or did you get married and all of a sudden you fell into being a single father because that's not how it was supposed to be at first?
I didn't get married to be a single father. I got married because of love. I thought I was in love,
Yes.
I take you back down memory lane. My oldest kid's mother, I was very young. I was 21 years old. And, I met a young lady and we got involved. We had children. We never was married, but, we lived together. Unfortunately, it just wasn't working out between me and her. So we decided to go our separate ways. In the process of that, the kids, we had kids, and the kids suffered a little bit because they wanted to have their daddy and their mother. So it became a broken home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't control a situation. I only can control what I do. So I just try to learn from my mistakes.
Okay, now what were some of the challenges you faced from going from a husband to now a single father?
Oh, wow. It was hard because I've never been a single father.
Right.
So I had to learn things. I had to learn how to, communicate with my children, learn how to take care of little girls. Instinctively, I can take care of a little boy, but little girls, some things you have to learn. The hair and grooming and shopping.
Yeah.
So it took some time for me to get that.
And how was it? Like, what was the experience like for you when you took them to go get their hair done or shopping?
No, I was doing it myself.
Oh, wow.
I had to do it sometime. I miss appointments. And so if I miss hair appointments, I have to do it. So it was like, I had to think back, like, okay, how did my mom do my sister's hair when we were kids? So I just kind of remember that the washing and conditioning and parting the hair, oiling the scalp down, combing out the little knots,
Paid
getting it
attention.
down and grooming. And I just
Paid attention.
Yeah, I paid attention. So I just kind of
Start
mimicked.
from the root or you start from the ends?
I start from the ends and come back to the root.
You good. You
comb
good.
it
Oh, you
out.
mastered this.
Well, the thing is, I had no choice. Now, I'd rather not do that because that's something I don't want to do. But I have no choice,
Yeah.
so I got to do it. Yeah.
Wow. Do you feel, and this is off cue card, do you feel like certain things that happened in your childhood? Because usually it's almost like whatever happened in your childhood, it could be something that the reasons why you choose what you choose or the situation that you came into. Do you feel-
Yes. A lot happened in my childhood.
So on that, to coincide with the situation you're in right now, what happened to where you feel like this is the reason for that, for paying attention to that or experiencing that in my childhood?
Well, when I was 5 years old, I remember my mom leaving my father. And when she decided to go another direction, I didn't understand. She just moved us out the house while my dad was at work. I'm 5 years old. I don't understand this. All that I know, I'm anticipating my father to walk through that door at a certain time. That was taken from me. So when we moved to a different state, I was heartbroken. I wanted him. Excuse me. I didn't care about what the problems that mom and dad was going through. I wanted my dad. Now, my mom, she probably was well justified to leave my father because my father had bad habits. But in the kids, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand this. So
Yeah.
I just wanted him.
Yeah. I know the
So-
way you worded that kind of stuck out to me, like, wow, when he said, that was taken from me.
It was taken from me. So
You don't think about
I
it.
experienced a broken home. So since I'm experiencing a broken home, I know the hurt behind being in a broken home. So I'm looking at my children. I don't want them to feel like I felt, which I can't control that because mom and daddy's not in the home. I'm just going to make sure I'm there for them the best way I can be.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really great.
And I think too, a lot of times, because parents aren't in the home, they just give up. A lot of times, yeah, they just give up on their kids, kind of, and just
Well-
say, you know, oh, they'll be okay, or just assume that they'll be all right, you know, and don't want to pursue having a relationship outside of the house
Right.
with the kids, you know.
Right.
So it's like, you know, even though the relationship didn't work out between mommy and daddy, that has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the kids.
Well, that's personal agendas, you know. Mama's mad at daddy, daddy mad at mom, so everybody's at each other's throats. My thing is, the kids have nothing to do with it. So I'm a father. I had a father. I know how to father, you know. So I'm just going to do my part. Show the kids love. I'm gonna show them compassion. I'm gonna teach and instruct. You know, it's kind of hard because I got boys and girls. I am built like my son, meaning as he's going to be a man one day. I can teach him and I can relate to what he's going through. The little girls, there's a lot of emotions and sensitivity. So I have to take a step back and just kind of watch them.
I think everything that you described so far as your fathering skills are pretty on point. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
But the question is, you said your dad left at 5. Did he come back into your life or
My mom left my father.
no? But if you only had your dad for 5 years, and you picked up a lot of good traits and stuff for 5 years as a 5-year-old.
Oh, I know what you mean.
You understand?
So, yeah, well, after that departure, you know, it was communication, phone calls and stuff like that, like a year or two later. So when I was 10 years old, I went to stay with him outright.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, that was it was a great experience, but that was challenging too.
Okay.
Yeah, that was very challenging because, you know, he remarried and had a wife. And, you know, when you're dealing with a blended family and things like that, it can be difficult. I felt, well, I didn't feel, I know. When you're a kid, you feel love from adults. I didn't feel the love from my dad's wife at the time. Right now, we're fine. We're cordial. I respect my father's wife. She's, you know, an older lady right now. But back then, it was a lot of, I would say,
Tension.
you know, you're not my kid, so I'm not going to love you like mine. Didn't verbally say
But
it,
you
but
could
the
feel it.
action.
But you felt it.
Yeah, you felt
Yeah.
those things. So, experiencing that, feeling all that, you know, throughout the years, I don't want my kids. I don't want my kids going through the things I went through negatively. So I try to give them a peace of mind, you know, like I have a peace of mind right now. I try to become a kid, meaning activity, just try to see things what they see through their eyes. I listen to them. You know, everybody should listen to their children because they can tell, especially when you're in a blended family, you wouldn't want your child to be scared to talk to you.
Right.
So I try to keep an open mind, listen to my children. I have not brought nobody in my kids' life because multiple reasons, you know, what I went through with my stepmom and things like that.
You,
Oh, wow,
you feel
okay.
like someone, like if you introduce your kids to someone, they won't love your children the way you do?
Well, this is my deal. I have to know a person first. I think man is physical by nature. So we gravitate on what we see instead of knowing a person's heart. You know, what shapes, breasts, hips, thighs, that's in us to want.
See, we got him. Okay, go ahead.
That is in us, you know, that's what we want. But there is a woman behind all of that.
Right.
And a man have to see, okay, what type of woman behind would she look like? And that's up to you. You know, as a man, I made difficult choices because of I'm visual. Now I'm learning to see past
The cuteness.
the cuteness, the shape, the physical, and all of that.
More
and
character.
see what type of woman are you, because my kids is connected to me.
Right.
I'm not going to put them in a situation to be treated bad or mistreated. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm not going to compromise who I am as a father for my pleasures, my situation. You know what I mean? So
So
I
how
have
do
to
you
separate-
approach dating then?
I date out. I keep it separate. You know, I don't bring no woman around my kids. You know, I just keep that separate. If I'm gonna bring a woman around my kids, we're gonna be walking the plank. We're gonna get married. That's how
You
it's gonna be.
ready to
I
introduce
see you ready.
Yeah, we're gonna get married. So, you know, I dated some women. They want to see my kids. I'm like, well, you know, I don't bring women around my children because what I went through. You know, I want them to feel. My kids say, "Dad, you got a girlfriend?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I talk to women, but they, you know, they're kids. They don't see what I see. You know, I'm gonna bring somebody in your house and they mean and nasty to you. That's gonna create a problem because I'm not gonna let nobody harm. I gotta protect my kids at all times.
Right.
And with women, people feel like, you know, women is so sensitive. They could be worse as a man because the mental scarness is just as hard as the difficult as the physical scarness. So, you know, I can remember as a child and my dad look at me, come on, you go come with me and his wife and my little brother that
They
was
hit
her
you.
son. Yeah. And she'll give me this look like, why are you coming? One of those type of look. Or she kind of shut the door on me like, you know, just being mean. And I'm feeling all this. You making me feel less than and not a part of.
Right.
So that's not family. You know, if I'm going to be about the family, I'm going to be about the family, meaning that, honey, you're going to love, you don't have to love my kids like you love me, but you're going to do right by my children.
No, but
Because
if
they
I
are
need you to
connected.
No, I need you to love my kids like I love them.
And I always feel
Well-
like nobody could, you know, like because my husband has other children from his first marriage, And I feel like I love them and I will do anything for them.
Yeah.
But they're still his kids. And I know him being a father and those being his kids, he's going to always love them more than I love them, no matter what I
course.
say and
That's
no
it.
matter
Of
what
course
I
he
do.
will.
I
Of
could always,
course.
you know, like I could be like, no, they hurt my feelings or whatever. And he's like, yeah, no.
Those are
Those
my
are my
babies.
kids.
Those are my
And I'm
babies.
just like, I still love them. I'm still there, but it's just a different towards I could sense, I could feel that to where, but with your experience, I will hate for any child to feel that. You know, like how do you talk to someone with kids and treat
it's-
their child like that
Yeah,
lives with them like that?
It's difficult, you know. I wasn't the only one suffering behind it. You know, my brothers and sisters were suffering, but they were older. They left, so I was there the longest. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't want my children going through this. I don't want them going through. So, getting in relationships, falling relationships, I'm still dad.
Right.
At the end of the day, I'm still dad. I'm here. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to love you. I'm here to teach and instruct the best way I know how.
So how is your co-parenting? Like how many mothers are there?
It's 3 mothers
Okay.
out of 6 children.
Okay.
And my oldest kid's mom, 2 of them, that was first like 7 years. We broke up, went our separate ways, neighbor downstairs, you know, I'm a man and things happen. She got pregnant. Now the problem is, I don't love you. That's the problem. But you have a baby. In her mind, she think, well, we're gonna have a family, but I didn't love her. Now, I take full responsibility of that. I should never involve myself with somebody that I didn't love. Now we have a child together. And you know how that is. Now, after that, I got my little ones, my 3 little children with their mother. And things didn't work out. It was very challenging and, we split our ways and the co-parenting just very challenging with the mother. It's just challenging. So what I try to do is just take a step back and what helps me, just via text.
So what makes it challenging? Just the whole communication part? Is it a financial part? Is it the distance of living?
Communication and households. I do things totally different in my household. She do things totally different in her household. So the kids is kind of like jacks. You know what I mean? They scattered. They like, okay, well, we do it different here, Dad. So it's like, when I try to communicate, it's an issue. So what I try to do is like, look, I respect the way how you run your household and how you upbringing your kids. Just respect the way I do things here. I can't tell you this is what you should do.
Right.
I only can suggest it, and I try to suggest certain things, and she take it the wrong way, she take it the wrong way. Yeah.
Now, another thing, I know you mentioned that when you guys separated, your kids were fairly small. You had 3 kids under the age of 5 when you and your last relationship, your wife split up and you guys divorced. How was that? How was that just to go from, okay, we're in a 2-parent home and she's there and I'm there, to taking care of?
Wow.
Because they were like babies.
They were babies. When me and the ex-wife divorced, my baby girl was 10 months. 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. So at that time, that was the darkest time of my life. I was hurt. I was kind of torn, broken. I'm renting a room from a friend of mine at that time, and I'm trying to have enough strength to raise little kids because they were still coming to see me at babies. They was 3 days a week. That never changed. So it took the act of God to give me just enough strength to get through that. But it was hard, my kids, they was crying. The little ones, they was crying. They didn't understand. They just cried all the time. So I just hold them for like 20 or 30 minutes at a time. Just sit back and rock them and just say, it's gonna be all right. My son was fighting in school. I mean, the teachers called me like every other day. What is wrong with your child? Why is he fighting? So I go up to the school. I try to talk to my son. Why are you fighting, son? I don't know, Dad. So it was just all the changes, and they were just feeling a lot at that time. So I said, okay. I just got on my knees and prayed and just took it to the altar, just asked God to give me the strength to do this. It was hard. It was hard. So, renting a room, got all these little kids.
What you said.
3 kids. I didn't have a social life. I didn't interact with a woman for like 3-4 years after that. It was just my kids. That's it. I had to, everything shut down. And I had to just focus on my children. And it was hard. In and out of renting different hotels and stuff like that. It was tough.
And you made it though.
By the grace of God, I made it.
Yeah.
It was difficult, and I'm standing there with somebody, and I'm talking to him, and he kind of looked at me and said, "I didn't know black men," and he's a white guy, love their children.
Wow.
So I took offense to that, and I said, "Well, why is that?" He said, "My grandfather told me when I was a little boy, if a black man loves his family, take care of him, you had to fight him on the other side of the world."
Wow.
So that right there motivate me to one day to be on this show, to tell the world that I'm here for my kids.
What really stood out, another thing that you said, is how your son was acting up in school.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of women see their kids acting out in school as a cause of a choice that they made in their relationship. Sometimes it could have been a boyfriend you took away, and that boyfriend was the only one that showed that son some attention. All of a sudden he's acting up, and you thinking it's some boy at school or something going on at school when you're controlling his emotions and he can't pinpoint his behavior on why it's coming.
Right.
So I'm just glad that you stuck in. And, as a father, and did what you had to do and still ask him and figure it out. Like, that's
it was
awesome.
hard. Yeah, just being a parent, you can never master it. You learn on the go.
Yeah.
Father, mother, you just learn on the go and you adjust to everything.
It was hard, but it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was hard, but it's worth it. We still working on some things, but we much better than we was 9 to 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I believe it.
That's all you can be.
Your
It's better.
daughter's too cherished. You believe that. I know you said it's easy for you to raise a son, but raising girls, you had to step back. But believe you me, that girls, they will look for a man that looks like you.
I'm glad you said that, because I told my sister, I said, listen, I want to be the first man they love. My girls.
Absolutely.
I just want to be the first man they love.
Yeah.
And if I can give that pattern that and give that to my daughter, they know what to look for within the guy.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
important.
That is very
That's so
important.
important.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as for our viewers, what's the biggest piece of advice that you could give them as far as co-parenting?
Oh, wow. Try to listen to the other party. Be slow to speak and quick to listen. And it's hard, but, if you work together, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do it.
And also for our viewers, so are you dating right now? Are you single? Because I'm sure there's some people out there, it's
Well-
like, I won't treat your kid like that.
Well, this is my thing here. I don't have nobody special. However, I know what I want. And I'm not looking for somebody perfect, because I'm not perfect. However, I'm looking for somebody who's going to be right with me and my children. And it takes time. I can't figure you out within 2 months or 3 months. It's going to take a good 2 years to know what I want within an individual.
Yeah.
And me too. She might say, hey, man, you got a lot going on. You got all these kids, I can't do it. So before we,
Take it to the next
take
level.
to the next level, just figure out, make sure this is what you want.
Yeah.
my priority right now is my children.
Right.
But if we're going to be a family, we're not going to play house. We're going to be a family. Meaning, if you have kids and you come over here and we're doing it, if your children need something, if I see your son need some shoes, I'm going to buy that boy some shoes.
Mm-hmm.
If my daughter need her hair done, please
Do her hair.
do her hair. You know what I mean?
Tell it
But
is.
we're working together.
Well, if you're out there, he just told you his rundown. What are you looking for? Pay attention. But Tam, did you have something?
No, I do. My question is, do you think that it will take, like, have you put like this 2-year time frame on finding someone and meeting someone and knowing that they'll like love and cherish your kids the way you do? Is that 2-year time frame like set in stone, or can somebody come into your life while your kids and you just allow God to just move and
I'm a man of the cross. So, I'm going to allow God to move, but I got to be smart with it. You know what I mean? And I don't like to put a time frame on it, but, we in a time of age that people getting in relationships with marriages for the wrong reason. Mm-hmm. I want to learn you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It got to be beyond the physical. Because I know I'm attracted to you, sweetheart. But who are you?
Okay, let me just add this, okay? Because I totally understand everything you're saying as far as you got to get to know a person and you just don't want to see the outside, you want to see the inside. But me being married for the time period, I feel like that is an onion that I am peeling and I am peeling and I am peeling.
Okay.
And then as time go on and we get older, I am peeling.
Right.
As kids come in and kids go out, I am peeling.
And I agree with that.
As finances go up and down, I am peeling.
I agree with that.
As people live and die, peeling. So you just never really know. It just keeps on changing and changing.
When that happened, like I said, I'm not expecting her to be perfect, but there's a line. There's a limit that I'm not. It can't go down. We can never go to the wall like I've been to the wall in my past. So I don't mind peeling the onion, but it's just little thin peels, that ain't thick. So.
Well, like you said you have to take your time to get to know someone.
Right.
And really know and go beyond the physical.
That's
and
right.
that can happen under 2 years, but however God puts it together so that you get to know it.
Right.
Because that's sort of like 2 years, you're like, 2 years.
Yeah.
But hey,
What?
you got to get to know your kids. You got to get to know you. You
That's
need
right.
to know
That's
her,
right.
and you guys
That's
need to
right.
get to know each
and
other.
if she have kids, I'm gonna tell you the biggest thing: kids can they can love each other, but they can hate each other. So if I'm the man of the house and I have a wife here, discipline. We're gonna discipline y'all. It ain't your daddy, your mama. No, this is coming from us. Because kids can separate a marriage.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you have to work. I'm looking for a helpmate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honey, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. This is how we're going to love these children, and we're going to move on.
Yeah.
Well, I commend you for being
you.
there,
I know.
because they say
Thank you.
Black lives matter, but Black fathers
matter.
absolutely
Definitely
matter.
matter. Yes, they
Appreciate
do.
I know, let's give them a
appreciate
round of applause for
Yes.
stepping into Gap and doing.
Thank you,
Yeah.
ladies. I appreciate it. I watch your show. I think it's a cool show, and I hope we are able to give to somebody, not just men, but maybe a woman that is hearing me out.
Yeah.
She can kind of understand that, man, we love the babies.
Right.
We love the babies.
You want to be involved.
I want
Yeah.
to be involved.
You want to
All
give
right.
them something that they need so then they won't act up in school and they could be a
Right.
better human being
Right.
for the woman that he's going to be with later on. Let the daddy be in their life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we thank you for coming on and sharing your
Thank you,
story.
thank you.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.